draft, you take Tyler Booker round
that
one.
damn Tyler Booker. Like, you taking him?
10 times out of 10.
Oh,
10
man.
times. Yeah, I'm still standing by Booker.
I don't care if it's G fam, Slim fam, turkey bacon, or spam. Booker at 12.
Yeah.
Booker.
I don't want to hear about this dude no more.
That film is above all, man. I really love Tyler Booker's film. Why not wait till the second round? Because I'm going Booker. I care about my quarterback. Booker is that much better than the second best guard. Too much. But the 12th pick, who I've been preaching, is Tyler Booker. Don't get me riled up. Number one, I think is a home run is Tyler Booker, because Booker embodies what I think Shotty is trying. Love. I thought definitively he had the best film out of everybody in that draft. Everybody.
I hear about no damn Tyler Booker no more.
What is good, YouTube? What is good? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Lose Takes. Shout out to my brother, man. He made that video. Get at him on Instagram, Twitter, all that. Suave Mike Media. He do edits and everything like that. He did a quick little edit for me because listen, y'all. Listen, if you've been listening here, you've been knowing I've been putting in the work. I been said 4 months ago, early in this draft process, that I believe the Cowboys should target and select Tyler Booker. And I went on the whim, being, you know, in a select few that was targeting this guy and saying that he would be perfect. And I do mean perfect for the Dallas Cowboys, of what they need and what they're trying to do and what Shotty is trying to do going forward, just based off reading tea leaves, hearing the man talk, hearing how he wants to scheme, and just going off his history, going off the hires. I was like, there's too many hands in the offensive line room. And I know people have been telling me, what about the guys we have now? What, and you know, can we develop them? Why we can't develop them? The thing is, I don't think people understand with the offensive line is that you need to give the swordsmith, the forger, you need to give him, you know, some rocks to, you know, to work with. You need to give him a rock with impurities to work with. And see, like, I think people get, you know, football just a tad bit. It's not work like that. I understand other people develop O-linemen to begin with, but my thing is, you know, some of these other teams, they have great quality to begin with and they can form it into something. Here in Dallas, I don't think that was the case, and especially was not the case what they brought in the offseason. I hope no one was pushing none of those guys was brought in the offseason. Now with Brock Hoffman, I made a whole video on it. I was happy how he did, but once Shotty came in and said power, gap, duo, I know what Brock Hoffman is. I watched this game, I studied this game, and I told you, and I broke it down. I said he does not really fit this scheme to be in a starting role, in an uncompetitive starting role, and to do that, you know, on a 17-game basis. Can we rely on him? Can Shotty truly get what he was trying to get? And that's why when a Tyler Booker came up on my scouting, you know, I was just going through the offensive lineman and I put him so high. If y'all remember, I had him so high on my original rankings. He was the only guard I truly had in there. Him and Gray Zabel. Gray Zabel was further down, but I had Tyler Booker, and the more I watched him, the more I got to see him. Like, man, this guy on film is just unbelievable. And I think we need this. So, like, you know, shout out to Team Weapons. Shout out. I'm for Dallas Cowboys. I want us to go get a weapon, especially a running back, a receiver if it fits. I'm pushing that we trade a pick for J-Mo, and we definitely need to, you know, target a running back in this round. But let me talk about, you know, the Team Trenches, because I think people got it misunderstood what I was wanting for Team Trenches. See, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been putting out offensive line breakdowns of every game last year. And you know that I came to the conclusion that the main reason that the offense as a whole struggled this year, I blamed the offensive line, and I took my, arguments that I made here, and I took them to the stage, and I was pushing that narrative, but people were only saying that, no, it was a weapons problem. No, it's the weapons problem. I see the game differently, and I'm gonna reiterate it again, just in case y'all don't understand. The offensive line was at the center of your struggles last year. It is not that we pick offensive linemen every year. It is that we picked a guy in Tyler Guyton, and we knew he was raw. We knew it was going to take time, and we got a guy in Cooper Beebe, and we both moved them out of position, two offensive linemen, and said, Mike McCarthy, work with this for your last contract year. And if you go back to the year before, we had the same team, right? And we had similar struggles early on, but there was a switch that happened, right? And I kept saying to people, what was that switch that happened? I think, they started to go more vertical with the routes versus last year. Similar start from the year before, keep in mind. But this time we didn't see a switch. We didn't see a switch. And you can't, no one, I know, it's in my head. You can't convince me that Dak or Schottenheimer didn't go to the office and knock on McCarthy's door to do what they did last year. But why didn't he change? Because he lost trust in the offensive line. That's what I'm trying to teach the people. It is not about sacks and TFLs when you are evaluating offensive line. We are trying to stop the cause because I know what the effect can be. That is what the offensive line is. That is the emphasis of evaluating offensive linemen. So when I see guys that are not getting, not in control of blocks, I'm not nitpicking because I know when you play somebody better or you keep going within this game, that loss is going to actually hurt us. When I say that, first of all, I played this position. I'm passionate. When I say it's important that your quarterback didn't finish the season, I'm not saying that because Dak got his head knocked off, and it resulted in a tool situation. And shout out to it. No one wants that. But I'm saying this. I keep saying again, my offensive line coach used to get mad more at the pressures than the sacks. I'm gonna reiterate this for anybody in the back. My offensive line coach, and I think everyone operates like this, gets mad at the pressures more than the sacks. Because why is that? Like I said before, we're trying to stop the cause because we know what the effect will be. What is that effect? Dak lost trust in his offensive line. Period. That is the cause. And what can be the relations of this cause? I don't know. Maybe him doing something that he hasn't done in years, which is take off running. And I know it's a freak accident with his hamstring taking off the bone, but I'm saying this. When I say he was running for his life, I'm saying because he didn't trust the guys in front of him. He didn't trust the guys in front of him to secure the blocks. And even when he was making throws, he couldn't fully step into it because guys were falling at his leg, affecting his mechanics. Balls were selling. I'm not saying that receivers weren't separating, but I'm saying is this. The quarterback has the most to do in the whole entire offense, correct? So we got to do our part to make sure he can get his job done. And if he can't get his job done, we need to fix that immediately before we go fix the effect. The effect is the route running. We need to fix the cause first before we do that. Part of that, team trenches, why I was pushing offensive line, twofold. One, I believe it was time because I saw a year ago that it's time to replace Zach Martin. You should have had something in place and he broke down before your eyes. I get it. Two, I am tired of throwing the ball. I'm going to say it again for the entire Cowboy Nation. I am tired of throwing the ball. When I say know your history, I am talking about this team right here. I am not, damn the draft picks, I'm talking about how you used to win back in the day. Let's not forget what got the Cowboys to them glory days. Let's not forget that. It was running the damn ball. And I know people be like, oh, it changed with the passing league. Damn that. I've been saying this from the beginning. And I say this for every sport. How you win in the past is how you only can win, because that's how you know to build your team that exact way. We can go to basketball. I said this. The Lakers have a certain way of building teams. It's with a wing and a guard paired with a big. And they did it. If you look in their history, it's Kareem and Magic. Okay, then it's Kobe and Shaq. Then you just look recently, it's LeBron and AD. You look at the Mavericks, get a good superstar, offensive superstar, European player, surround him with a phenomenal team. Even though we didn't win with Luka, did you see how close we are? Because we followed that same formula, because that's our formula and that's what we know how to do. So I'm saying that with your Cowboys, and that was my whole fight, is you need to build O-line because you haven't got anywhere close to the promised land without it. And I know Team Weapons are saying, well, we've been doing that and we still ain't got to the promised land. That's not our fault. That's what we're saying. Because the thing is, when we got there in those games, other things got in the way of you being carried there. Other things got in the way. Boss kept mentioning, shout out to Boss Cowboy, how we got there to a game and the line was open up holes, but your running back fumbled twice. Or your line was good, or we had Kellen Moore who didn't want to run the football. Those are emphasis philosophies getting in the way of your guys being great. So my problem is this: if we commit all the resources to one group and we say, oh, it didn't work, so and we got to be within the doctrine of like, oh, we need to allocate these resources to the other way because we need to see how this works. My thing is this: why would you think if we allocated here, it didn't work, and just because we haven't allocated there, why would you think it worked? What team has you seen worked with all weapons and a mediocre offensive line? I mean, and my whole argument is this: you have teams in the league who actually do that, and they actually hit a wall every single year. I bring this team up every time. The Miami Dolphins. They called them the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC. They don't have an O-line. They don't. They have a terrible O-line, but they got premium weapons, and they still can't get past the Chiefs because football is football. When you go in swinging haymakers, the obvious counter to that is to chew the clock and slow the game down with a run game, with a solid offensive line, with just a run game in general, because that's the game of football. Why? So, and then, you know, I'm on my rant. I just wanted to say this. I wanted to get back to that. We've been losing games the exact same way. I know we ain't have the weapons, but we've been weapon-led before. You can't say that. We've been weapon-led before. And we go there, and teams, what did the Rams do? They came back while running the ball. What did the Bills do to us 2 years ago when Josh Allen didn't even throw for like, what, more than 12 times or 17 times a game? They ran the ball and slowed the game down. Teams knew you were weapon-led and you had a hell of a pass rush. So the obvious counter to that was make your ass be tough. And that's what Tyler Booker adds to this team. I know if you've been this far, man, I made it this far, I'm sorry. That's what Tyler Booker adds to this team. That's what we need to get back to. I was fighting for. That was the big battle I was fighting for us to start running the ball more, to get as much as balance as possible. I want them to tip the timbalum just a tad bit and be more of a running team than passing, because I feel like that's how Dak operated best. That's how you want to get CD from being bracketed. That's how you can help him staying ahead of the chains, not relying on that. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? This is the most reliable thing to do. But we need to complete that. We need to get a running back. I understand that. But why I just want to give a chance to voice why we've been fighting for this. I'm fighting for this not because I love all offensive line, because I want my team to win, and I know the formula for them to win because they've been diverting from it further than ever before. As farther we get from the 90s, we keep diverting from running the ball because it's not exciting. I understand that. But we Cowboy Nation, Tyler Booker, I'm telling y'all, Tyler Booker is what we are trying to do. I'm going to say this, I'm going to play the clip, and I'm going to get up out of here. But I just want y'all to understand this. And also be on the lookout, because I'm definitely going to do a breakdown. We already did it before. But we gonna break it down to step, because I gotta debunk some of these lies out here, especially with his athleticism. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see what y'all seeing. You can't be unathletic and your strength be pass pro. I'm an offensive lineman. Let's talk football. You can't be bad with feet and be able to have pass pro. You gotta be able to move, bro. Slow-footed guys can't move on pass pro straight like that. It's more than just pulling. It's more than just all that. And he can pull. He may not be the best at it. He can pull. He's just uncoordinated. That's all it is. He's uncoordinated. But that athleticism stuff, the RAS score, when the RAS score has ever, we don't care about that offensive line. Film is above all. That running the 40, all that's for the skill positions. And you really can't even judge it on that. I encourage y'all. I have respect for y'all. I understand y'all wanted the weapon, but you cannot deny that this kid can play. He can play. He can play. And what we've been preaching, you could have waited for Booker, that's been debunked. Because more and more is coming out. First of all, they love Booker. Two, they were trying to trade back with the Texans all the way back, and you saw what happened afterwards. I got a video that's going crazy right now with the Detroit Lions. They were saying, damn, Cowboys took Booker. So for a position that's undervalued, for a guy that's terrible, a whole lot of teams wanted this MF. I'm just letting you know right now, don't be influenced. Trust your eyes. And you can come and voice me with me in the chat. But I want to get back to doing this. We're gonna listen to Tyler Booker and then make sure to like and subscribe to the video, man. Peace.
Wake up, be like, man, I can't wait to play this football game today. They listen to their hype music, they take all the pre-workout, they get so excited to play football until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, and I start to see that love leave their eyes, like that's what makes me love the game. Like I just really love.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, you just got me right. Hey, he got me ready to go. I ain't gonna lie. He got me ready to go.
Bro, I'm gonna play right now.
Yeah, he got me hype. I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
Play after play, quarter after quarter.
Hey, man, welcome to the team.